音出た？
出た。
ゲーム音。ゲーム音はウィンドウをアクティブにしないと出ないから、ちょっとなんかで音出すか。わざと。で、このバーが動いてくれたらいいんだけど。おこっちも無音になってんな。これで音出るか？よしよしよし。で、じゃあこれも、これで多分、こっちは音が出てると思うから。何で音出そうかな。
です。
オッケーオッケー。出てる出てる。よーし。ありがとう。これで音出たでしょ。なんか、ゴソゴソゴソみたいな、棚探る音みたいな音聞こえると思うけど。もうちょっと音量上げた方がいいかな。このゲームやるんだったら。
ゲーム音の音も出た。
やった。3箇所あった。
The finest view London has to offer.
くだらないことに目つけてんじゃねえよ。
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
鼻のある警官とかって言ったから、あの女の人がどうのこうのなのか、この絵がどうのこうのなのか、あとは、単純に暴力を振られたとか。
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
まだ証拠が足りない。説得するのに。まだなんか探せる？
The finest view London has to offer.
ここ、ここもインタラクトは一応できんのか。2分の2で探してきてるからな。
Looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
他にインタラクトできるものがないな。
コーラ、サルトス。シンク。
いらっしゃい。何語だ？ホーラーだからあれか？何語だったっけ？
HI。
はーい。また扉に話しかけてみるか。インタラクトできるものここしかないしな。あれ？これもできなくなった。じゃあ。 お、ここか。人物像。新聞にの証言。あとは緑か。こうか。あれ違うのか。ガシャーンみたいな感じにならないな。こっち？あ、これは正解らしい。窓際の枯れた花は正解らしい。あれ？あ、色は別に関係なかったのね。あれ？これつかないや。ああ、やっぱ関係あるな。緑の証拠が足りない。
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
まだ見つけてないものが何かある。じゃあこの人に話聞いてみるか。あ、やっぱ聞ける。
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall. I should have worn something warmer. People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
サボテンかなんかあったと。視点を動かす。
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin?
お、
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
あと1個。
It must
白い
take
藁。
patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
観察する。お、亡き夫への追悼の意。ああ。綺麗なブーツ。店に来てから履き替える。あ、後ろも回れるんだ。首元。 花屋の仕事には適さない。あれか。デート用の服装ってことか、今。化粧をしている。悲しみを乗り越えようとしている。母。か、亡き夫の死を嘆き続けている。か。こっちだと思うけどね。
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll
純粋な
kindly
推理と
ask you to
観
keep
察
your
の
keen
賜物
eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
証拠を提示する。これ
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
One of these things is not like the other.
ああ、さっきのやつか。
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a dole to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
おほうほうほう。
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
全然違うらしい。
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
はあ。まだやれる。
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
見
Yes.
かける
Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
お。これで増えた。こっちかな。来た。バーンズはフレミングが大好き。これはあれだな。日本語の訳し方の問題だな。バーンズは枯れた花を置き、花屋であるフレミング夫人の注意を聞こうとしている。花は見かねた夫人が水やりの助言のために店に訪れる仕向けるためのもの。バーンズはあれだね。本屋の店主の名前だね。バーンズは身分を隠し、机の上の目録で注文したサボテンを夫人に送った。贈り物としては疑問符がつくが、目録で不老不死の象徴とされるサボテンは彼にとって永遠の愛の象徴なのだろう。はあ、このサボテンがベーカー街で、ストランド種の上に落ちたものであることは明らかだ。バーンズに説明を仰ぐとしよう。
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr.
Hey.
Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right then.
Oh.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness of the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
どうすればいいか教える。僕の専門じゃない。どうすればいいか
As
教える。
in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman.
せやな。
What is the
ちゃんと
worst
言えや
that
と
can
いう。
happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things.
言えよ。
Thank you.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper.
今朝
I'm
の新
investigating
聞
a
事件の
string
こと書か
of
れてませんで
burglaries.
した。はは。
Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and...
未知の言語に精
Yes,
通しよ
yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
う。お。巷で、港で小石の爆発事件が発生。ロンドン港周辺の住民は昨夜突然の爆音で目を覚まし、爆発と赤い農園かな荘園なのに怯えることになった。ヨーロッパへの航海中に夕方寄港し、第三埠頭に停泊中だった商船のモスクワ内部で、複数の爆発が発生した。事故による港湾当局の公式発表はなく、事故発生後に乗船していた人間がいたかは不明である。目撃者の証言では小石でいいよね。はかなり漏出しているよう。漏れてる。しかし事故現場は閉鎖され、作業員や一般人の立ち入りは禁止されている。事故の詳細が全て明らかになるのは時間を要するだろう。ああ。タンカーとかではないのか？原油が漏れてるとか、そんなんではないのかな？小石がちょっと何かわかんねえけど。
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
あの少年に払っといてくれ。
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We'd best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste
完
of
全に
time.
時間の無駄。
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No? Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill applied...
I see things that are not.
僕には何でも見通しなんですか。
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
本物の事件。
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
証拠の固定を外すか。こっちに。ステンウィックでこっち。最初うろうろした時にここステンウィック邸っていうのは見たから。
Not much further now.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector
この人
Lockhart?
軍人さん
Did
らし
he
い。
put
大
you
佐っ
onto
て書いてあ
this?
ったから。
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with
こっち
it.
警察官
I'm
だね。
telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
普段の顧問
At
探
last, a
偵。
professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
後ろでワトソン君がちょっと荒ぶってたな今。なぜそうそう
Why
した
has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a
警察
complaint.
に苦情。
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
さあ、特徴は
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A
ニュー
Maori.
ジーランド来た
All
が
the
オマ
way
リ
from
人。
New Zealand.
マオリ人。
Biggest
屈
man
強な
you've
男で
ever
まさに
seen,
巨人的。
and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to
英
learn.
語は話せない。
But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
部屋は
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
一般人が見ても理由怪しいところはなかった。
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night
お
before
とといの
yesterday.
夜。以前にも逃げたこと
I
は。
take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
理由は
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
なんか取ってた
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right,
Oh.
Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a
何も
look
持た
around
ず
the
に
mansion.
逃げるように出てった。
I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint. 裏の小屋に行ってみる。
あ、違うな。ここでなんかできるらしい。はい。ミヒアの痕跡はどこに続いている？あれだな。青、青、白だな。青の証拠が足りん。裏の小屋。お、なんかインタラクトできる場所がある。
Chewing tobacco.
紙タバコ。なんだこれ。
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
29センチの靴。でけえな。なんだこれ。クトゥルフのサインか。あと1個どこだ？
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
あ、これで見るの。関連する証拠。
Looks like a knee print.
こういうことか。
Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco
膝
suggests
の
they
跡。
were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
十分な証拠があればシャーロックは想像によって過去を再現できる。ほう。次。なるほど。はい。あ、これ消えちゃうのか。想像地点に触れると想像を開始し出来事の正確な再現が可能になる。あ、これのことだよね。要は。まだ証拠が足りないから次が見えないな。お、いっぱいある。調べられること。まずはこっちから。
Rag reeks of smoke. Someone
布
plugged
から
the
煙
chimney.
が漏れてる。こういうことか。
A scrap of Hessian.
ヘシアンのアサンの。
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
ーっと。お。
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape
麻
of an impact.
袋
Someone
に
hit their
衝撃などが残っている。頭を打ちつける。はは。あれ、他の証拠が出てこないな。お。
A small navy spyglass.
船乗り。お、来た来た。うん。ああ。襲われてなんか逃げた。
No air coming through it. A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
突き飛ばしたりなんか殴ったりした犯人の姿はちょっと見えないのか。これで白めっちゃ多いな。全然違うらしい。お。まだちょっと青い証拠が足りないな。なんかある。
Who could have left these tracks? They seem fresh.
こっちに続いてるっぽいけど。人に聞きゃいいのかな。証拠を提示する。これか。全然違うらしい。 さっき何も異常なかったとか言ってたよな。あんだけなんか物壊れたりとかしてたのに。あ、鍵のことは
The
聞
door
こ
to
う。
your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick.
人君ヒヤだ
Jimmy
け。
here and I both had a set of keys.
鍵は
I'll
持っ
need
て
to
んのか
borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
はあ。
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahia's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
うん。あとは
I thought you were meant to be
これじゃないのか。
intelligent.
Do you happen to know Kimahia's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent
裸
his
足で生
life
活し
barefoot.
はあ。
Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
靴履いてない。君ヒヤが紙タバコを吸っていたかどうかを聞く。
Has Kimahia ever indulged in
Really?
tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahia's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
なるほど。
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahia's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
お、来た。痕跡がどこに続いてるか。この辺に何かあったりしないの？なさそう。あ、これは次。君冷やじゃないってことだよね。うん。お。これもなんか次がある。ほうほう。じゃあ引きずった後っていうのが
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
で、こっからどうすればいいんだ？あ、
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
今そこ。関係ないか。やっぱりこれをするのかな。足跡？ああ。違うらしい。紙タバコのゴミ。これもちゃうのか。ん？じゃあこっちか。これしかないけどな。あれやっぱまだ痕跡が足りないな。じゃあ。青色のやつが足りないぞ。
No air coming through it.
お。
Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
証拠を固定しないと出ないやつがある。お。最近使われたとは考えにくい。お、こっちもあった。
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
お、あ、なんか痕跡が出た。せやな。そうだよね。人を運んでるよね。これ使えないな。荷車のこと聞くか。
Why are you still here?
あれ、これではないのか。
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
まだ調べ物が足りない？ 椅子これだけ違うけど。まだあと2つほど痕跡がなんかあるな。やっぱりこの向こうに行きたいんだけど。あそこでタバコふかしながら暇してた人物が望遠鏡でずっと使用人のことを見てて、隙ができたというか、木を見計らって襲撃してで混同させた人を荷車に乗せてどっかに持ち運び去ってるんだよね、多分ね。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
ダメだな。
Is this familiar to you?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
ということはこれ、もしかして別のことだったら聞ける？
Help me, please.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
物音があったこととか聞けないのかな？じゃあ。でも庭ってここか。
This dreary rain is making a miserable day even worse.
こっから先の進め方がいまいちわかんねえな。やっぱりこれじゃないのか？
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
いまいちあれだな。どれを固定したらいいのかがわかんねえな。絶対この扉開けてどっか行ったはずなんだけどな。鍵貸してもらえねえかな、マジで。なんか証拠を提示して動かさなきゃいけない、あの人。
stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering.
怒られた。
Go and do your job. Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
物音を聞いたかどうかを誰かに聞きに行かなきゃいけないのかな、やっぱり。あっちに行きたいんですけど。
Is this familiar to you?
It's a shame, but I can't help you.
やっぱそうなるんだよな。
Help me, please.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
この人には聞けない。向こう側に行きたいんだけどな。こっからどうすんのこっからどうするんだ。証拠を見つけられてないだけだと思うんだよな。もう一回開いたらなんかいける。やっぱ物的証拠が足りん。何をどう見つければいいんだ。まだあの小屋になんかあるんか。これを調べる、観察するみたいなことはできないんだ。どこを調べていいのかわからん。まだ中か？これまだなんか。あ、いけたいけた。
The ashes are long since cold. Mutton chops, the remains of a meal.
マトンチョップ、なんだそれ。お、なんかあった。
A heavy chemical odor.
重厚な化学物質の匂いがする。オピオイド、麻薬。そうだね、ここで吸ってた人がいるんだよね、麻薬を。 あと1個か。
Is this a Tanifar, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
当たり次第にクリックとかしてるとあれなんだよな。変なものに反応しちゃう。調べ切ったものに反応しちゃうからあんまりやりたくないし。あと1個どっかになんかあるんだな。これはもう見たし。あと1個なんだ？この鍵は違うのか？今さっきなんか更新されたよな。
Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
いや、明らかになんか殴られてどうこうなってるけどな。なんでワトソンそんな見当違いのこと言うんだ？この辺になんか見落としてるやつある？望遠鏡で見てる方向。こっち？まあ、関係ないか、それは。あと一個多分どっか調べられてないだけなんだよな。 もうちょっとインタラクトできるやつでかくしてくんねえかな。できんのかな。これ切り替えることによってなんか出現するようなやつとかないのか。これはもう見てることになってんだよな。あれだよね、今この状況って多分この想像を全部5つつなげて新しい証拠にしろっていう状態なんだろうけど、これが1個目。これが3個目。こいつは4。
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
5個目が見つからん。どこだ？あ、ハットにこのアイコンが表示されたらって書いてある。じゃあこれか。これを固定した状態で集中モードを起動する。あ鍵あるやんけ。ちゃんと鍵あれ調べられるやんけ。あ、出た。5つ目。あったあったあった。あ、これで、はいはいはい。あ、どれが違うらしい。これでどれに確定するかを決めなきゃいけないのか。違う。 まだ違うのか。これ総当たりでやっていくのが、まあなんか多分手っ取り早そうだな。てか、どれか正解アイコンみたいなの出ないのか。あれあ、でもな、待てよ。ここで一個一個出てるから。ああ。長押しか。合ってるね、やっぱり。で、これがこっちで。で、これがここで。これがこっちで。これは、これで。
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kim
Oi, hold on.
went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
こういうことか。ミヒアの誘拐。誘拐犯の特徴。望遠鏡。紙タバコのゴミ。足跡の方かな。あれ、こっちが。これか？いや、違うな。これは違うから、こっちか。あれ。ってことはまだ敵証拠が足りない。まだ証拠が足りん。誘拐された痕跡が庭園の方に続いてるんで、鍵貸してくれって言うしかないのか。あ、やっぱり。
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir, likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
いや、誘拐されたっていう。
You checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
結論を話す。はい。
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It's frankly incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who.
は
I
あ。
am only interested in recovering my
じゃあ鍵貸して
investment.
くれや。
Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
今なんて。なら自分でやれ。沈黙を保つ。
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
あの野郎マジで。お、あれ後っぽいな。あれインタラクトできねえ。あとはこっちに続いてんだけどな。あったあったあった。今一瞬なんか出た。お、
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
うかつすぎるやろ。
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
書
Then
籍。
we're in agreement. Well done.
今朝の事件も書籍
Wheels
うんぬん
picked
かん
up
ぬん言って
grass
たね。
along the way. Kimahia's cart, I gather.
書籍っつうかガラスのこうな気がする。お、縄？
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This
船
knot
乗
is
り。
often used by
なる
sailors
ほ
to
ど。
create a bosun's chair.
望遠鏡もそうだし。現場の調査が完了した。あれここに馬いたはずなんだけどな。馬いなくなってる。犯人の特徴。名刺。名刺じゃない。船乗りの結び目。そうだね。誘拐犯は船乗りだでいいのか。うん。今すぐ馬車でロンドン港へ向かおう。なるほど。
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London. Of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
馬車はどこで使えるんだい？ここ行けないの。馬車 C。あ、ファストトラベルも一応できるのか。いや、 馬車の場所、どういうものにインタラクトしたら馬車行けるのかを知りたいから、ファストトラベルはやめよう。普通にその辺に止まってる馬車に話しかければいいのかな。あれとか。あ、いける。離れると戻る。すべて終了させてから離れましょう。
Where to, Gap? The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
はい。すべきこと。
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I did not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan.
従軍、軍医だね、軍医の経験。
He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in.
砂漠で
Things
そう
grew
だ。
ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here?
せやね。探偵さんだからね。周囲の人間について、証拠について尋ねることができ、操作手帳を開き、X で固定をしてから話しかけよう。早速名刺で試してみよう。話しかけるべき人がどこにいるのね。
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
じゃあ、ドアに向かって聞いたらいいのかな。もしもーし。あ。
May I ask you something?
I think I can help you.
おう。いつも乗船場の近くにいる。
Oh,
入れる。
reputable establishment.
I've seen worse.
あ、外に出た。Hey.
Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
男性の
My
捜査に
colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
証拠を提示する。これ。
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier. Next to
第
the
3ふ頭
dockyard.
ので造船所の隣。蒼白。嘔吐による汚れ。座り。わずかに膨張している。妊婦さんなのこの人。締め付けが強い。妊娠を隠そうとしている。
Your clothes are already tight and soon they won't fit at all. How far along are you?
I thought I'd hidden it better. How did you know? Are you a doctor?
In a manner of speaking.
いや横に医者いるが。
He merely has the ego. I
こっちにいる
apologize,
が。
miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
ああ。お、失踪者の張り紙。机の上とかにある。こっちから出るか。
May I ask you something?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
人がいる。
Is this familiar to you?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
貧民街。造船所の方に行ってみる。お。
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
船乗りの人に聞くべきなんだろうけど。これは馬車なのか？
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down.
この人に話しかけられないんだけど。お、まだまだ全然証拠が足りねえな。マップ。貧民街。呪われた人魚は酒場の名前だね。ということは、純粋に造船所の方に向かえって話か。あっちでいいの？お、なんかある？Hello.
Help me, please.
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Can I ask you a question?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
今の落ちたのか落下。こんなゲームジャンプもできないのに落下判定あるのかよ。
こいつ瞬間移動したぞ。
Do you know anything about this?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
今ね、海っていうか、落ちた。丸太のイカダの上から落ちたから。ジャンプとか一切できないのに、そういう落下判定あんだ。
Are you able to help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Could you help me?
I think I can help you.
そうだね、マップ外に行ったね。
マップ外にか。
Are you able to help me?
No, sorry. I know nothing.
「昨日爆発事故第三埠頭」ってどこ？
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
第三埠頭ってどこだよ。10番倉庫ってことだよ。
Help me, please.
It is a shame I can't answer your question.
Do you know anything about this?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
みんな何も知らん。
みんな何も知らんね。造船所で働いてそうな服装の人に話しかけるのが多分一番だと思う。
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
同僚だと思うから。船乗りとか。あと第三埠頭に近くに行きたいんです。今4って見えたな。
Are you able to help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
倉庫街。2番。
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
5番。1番。3番倉庫とかねえのか。体当たり。とりあえず倉庫街としてブクマできたからいつでもファストトラベルで飛んでこれるけど、こういう明らかにモブっぽい動きをしてる人は多分あれなんだろうな。話しかけても何も教えてくれねえんだろうな。
Help me, please.
Oh, sorry, I know nothing.
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
ここに行けばいいのかな多分。
Are you able to help me? Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
モブっぽいな。
Are you able to help me? Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
ここどこだよ。一発でマップとか開きたいんだけど。M とか押したら開かんか？あ、開いたわ。開いたけど現在地がどこかわかんねえな。
May I ask for your assistance? I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
あれこれ多分来たな。こっから来たやつ。迷った。あ、来た。第3ふと。来た。
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer.
いや、ここの奴らが一番知ってんだよ。何言ってんだよ、お前。
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy.
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the 4th person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
Oh.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
Now, where was I?
まずは観察しよう。身長165センチ、中肉中背。漢字によるインク汚れ。懐中時計。筋肉の張力がない。屈強ではない。汚職役人。 名刺。
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there?
That boat explosion stopped most traffic coming into the port. Guess I'll be without work for a while.
知らんってしらばっくれたな今。緑が全然足りない。この外国人の女に会うべきか。確か張り紙あったよ。貧民街のダヤ。赤い入り口に赤い布がかけてあります。
May I ask for your assistance?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
それどころじゃない体制してんだお前。人に話聞かれるとかそれどころじゃない体制してたな今な。ここは倉庫街だね。貧民街。入り口に赤い布。あれか。どうもー。
Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
よく話せるね。
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near
祭壇の上、売っていや薬代にしてあげようとしたけど、誰も買ってくれ
I
ない。
tried to sell it to buy medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong.
違うな。
He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like
目が金属だった。
like it was made of
ギガンってこと？まだ聞けることが揃っていない。祭壇の上のネックレス。
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
I miss Girves. Do you think he's okay?
今度はこれを固定して話しかけていくのか。人がいねえ。また酒場で話聞きに行くか。もしもーし。
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name.
汚れてのソマーズ。
Nasty lout with a silver ball in place of a missing eye.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a dirty Summers?
He likely signed on with a ship.
船。
I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
証拠を提示する。これ
You
は
been drinking? Doesn't look like anything to me.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
やっぱネパール人だよ。
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
おめえそれしか言わねえな。あ、聞くやつがなくなった。汚れてのソマーズ。これつけてさっきのロイ・ソルズビーに話を聞きに行こう。なんで一瞬カメラ離れたの？造船所なのに記者があるの？あ、いた。おー
What are
い。
you gawping at?
問い詰める。
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
赤色だったんだけどな。
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though.
1個は正解。
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be serious.
で、最後は 最後の証拠停止。ちょっ
Give me
と
one。moment. Mr. Soulsby, you
あ、
And how do I fit in all this? Sorry.
Mr. Souls. A man named
これはやったな。
your co-
で、最後の。捕食で得た金。これは違うらしいな。
It's true. And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems.
よしよ
I
し。
did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to
倉
his
庫街
business
で
in
の
the
ことに目を
warehouse
つけてい
area.
た。はあ
Just that. On my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall. But I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He is a regular at the Cursed Mermaid. Goes there with his crew almost every evening.
What for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
なるほど。もう一回酒場で話聞くべきか。いや、微妙なところと思ったな。常連らしいけど。
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty Summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir.
これだね。
I failed to follow.
よくわかんない
Are you finished? I have glasses to wash.
いえ。
I failed to follow.
よくわからない。
I
あれー
I failed to.
Why do
I I failed.
よくわからない
I
どれも違うな。めっちゃミスりまくってんな。
I failed. I
この辺が常に表示されてるから、これなのか
I failed.
違うな。
I
まだ証拠が揃ってないもしかして。
I failed. I I'm not surprised.
あ、一個正解した。
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here.
よしよし。
You must know something about his business.
All I know is his drinks order.
うーん。 これ。
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
どうだろうな。
Many people are missing, and the main suspect based himself in your establishment. One word to Scotland Yard and your life takes a turn for the worse. Now, spare yourself the trouble and tell me all you know.
Okay, okay. Summer's hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days.
なるほ
He
ど。
paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key. Go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
やったぜ。捜査現場を発見した。話が動きそうだから、今日ここでやめるか。2時間経ったし。多分永遠とこのまま常に謎がずっと出てきて、やめる気を失うから、一旦ここでやめよう。というわけで、ご視聴ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。今日からね、だいたいね、1日おきにこれやっていこうかなと思います。
おつ混乱。
はい、お疲れ様です。どうしたんゲーム的には難しいゲームだからね。なんかアクションするとか、ここのステージクリアしたらいいとか、簡単なやつじゃなくて、一個一個証拠提示していって、証拠見つけて、証拠提示していって、問い詰めて、謎解きをするっていうゲームだからね。なんか最終的にクトゥルフ神話系の要素が絡んでくるらしいけど、それまでは普通に謎解きゲームだから難しそうだね。スチームでね、高評価だったからちょっとやってみたかったんだよね。でやりゃ。ずっとこの画面にしあれだね。おい、じゃあに。バイバイ。その動作はなんだ？